Welcome to the Ignorance Project, where curiosity meets conversation and learning begins. Today, I'm sitting down with a drummer whose story is the definition of faith in action. He's never taken a single lesson and can't even read music. Yet, he's played on some of the biggest stages in the world, from Jimmy Kimmel Live to the Grammys. In our conversation, we talk about how his faith has guided every decision, the lessons he's learned along the way, and his advice for aspiring musicians who are ready to take their gifts to the next level. So, like, comment, subscribe, and let us know what you think. Hello, and welcome to the Ignorance Project. Today, I'm very excited about having someone. We've talked about this, but I really don't remember how I know you. I just know that I know you. And I know that you're impressive. So I just know you. So you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
First things first, Chris Stokes. A lot of people may know me as a musician. A lot of people may know me as the regular cool guy.
A lot of people, or that's what you want people to know you as?
Take it how you want, but I consider myself a cool guy.
Okay.
I'm a musician. I'm just me. Black and white.
Okay.
I keep it real gangster when I need to, but that's pretty much it.
All right, Stokes. So you said you're a musician, right? And one of the reasons that I wanted you on the podcast is because I see you traveling the world. I see you on stages with, I want to say thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people, a lot of people watching you while you're on stage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are a drummer. Who do you currently... No, you are a musician. I called you a drummer once. You were like, I'm a musician. I'm not a drummer. Right? Right. So you're a musician that happens to drum. Right?
Yeah.
Who are you currently working with?
I'm currently working with a Colombian artist by the name of Maluma. I've been with him 6 months now. So yeah. Started in December.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm at the 6 month mark. It's crazy. It's kind of
crazy.
by and by. So yeah, it's been a busy 6 months. But I mean, I guess in this line of work, that's kind of what you want to be. So it's been a blessing, because for one, to get the question out the way, I don't speak Spanish. So to be working in this line of work with a group of people that you aren't familiar with as far as the language barrier, it's a blessing. Sometimes it can be, I won't say it's a curse. I won't say it's a curse, but not knowing Spanish can be a curse. But, I could definitely say that I've appreciated the journey because it just shows you that there's a bigger world out there than what you come from. So, but it's definitely been a great 6 months so far.
That's awesome. So I want to take it back, way back to your childhood or whenever the moment was that made you realize like you're very interested in music.
First of all, I'm not as young as I used to, so maybe a little shot. But I think a lot of people from a Black, African American background can attest to growing up in church and just being drawn to music. So it just so happened that, according to my mom, pots and pans is where I started. But being in church, being around the drums, like that was something that my attention was just drawn to.
The drums.
Yeah, and it was just like, I would after church, I would just go up there and bang on the drums. So I guess my parents just took noticed that I took a liking to that.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just, Christmas would come around and do a drum set. It wasn't the most able-bodied drum set, but, it got me through for 3 months.
Yeah.
So,
3 months. That's
I
it?
mean, kids' drum sets don't really last long.
Okay.
We don't understand the maintenance, and they're not. I mean, they're cheap back in the day. So the maintenance for a kid's drum set is not what it would be for a very expensive drum set nowadays.
And that's interesting because I've never considered maintenance for a drum set at all. So, what does that entail?
It's probably I would say that it's probably the most expensive, one of the most expensive instruments, just because I can't speak on all aspects of other instruments, but like the base price for a standard drum set could run from 1,500 to about 4,000.
What?
And that's probably been nice for some drum sets. And then you have to always replace your sticks. You have to always replace the drum heads. And then give or take, if the cymbals break, you have to replace those. And good cymbals can run around low into sometimes $600.
What? I
That's
had no clue.
That is per.
Wow.
And so like a lot of people wouldn't know this, but like now because of like the economy and whatnot, drummers are really suffering with sticks.
They're what with their sticks?
They're suffering on the pricing because probably 10 years ago, you go to the music store and get drum sticks for $7.99. They're probably going for $19 a pair right now.
Oh my goodness!
In some places, so it's rough out here, but there are ways around it. Like thankfully, I can say that I endorse a few companies that give me percentages on some of the purchases I make, so I can buy in bulk. So that's a very necessary tool to
How often does a stick break?
It depends. Like if you get a good batch, you'll be okay. If you get a bad batch, some might break on one song. It also depends on how you keep your sticks. Like I have been irresponsible and left my sticks in the car in the wintertime and found out the hard way that that's not what you should do with your sticks.
Do they like swell up or something? What happens when you leave them?
I just think they lose integrity to some degree. Like it might not be something you notice initially, but you'll feel it. And that's just one of those things like you don't know it until you are in the act of using it.
Right.
So there's that. But yeah, it can be expensive. So I believe music as a whole is expensive for a lot of people because I know I've heard stories of kids growing up, parents didn't want to buy, violins and trumpets and whatnot. So like just imagine how that can become a task as you get older.
Yeah. That makes sense. So for kid you that was attracted to the drums, what was it about the drums? Was it like the sound? Was it the excitement of like clashing something? What was it?
It might have just been as a young male, the thought of probably just bashing on something. So, just take the bam bam method, or even like growing up watching the Muppets, you see animals, so stuff like that. All things drum was intriguing. So that was something that I appreciated growing up, and I personally, I just was blessed with natural talent that something you just can't beat that.
Right.
So I didn't even understand it at that point, but it was a blessing, along my life's journey that I came across understanding what I possessed.
Mm. So how do you start to understand, like, okay, this is something I'm good at? Was it people saying it to you? Was it you just knowing? Was it innate?
It was crazy because probably I can definitely attribute it to people who were telling me, like,
Mm.
at a young age, like, oh, you're talented, you're talented. But I didn't take it as you're talented, you should
Right.
take this around the world.
Right.
I took it as you're young, you do really good at what you're doing, and for me, I was like, this is normal church talk, like people being nice in church.
Mm.
So, but I can definitely attribute a lot of that for me pursuing it in a more professional manner.
Mm-hmm.
My goddad, he pushed me in that direction for sure,
Mm.
for sure. Because he wanted me at that time. I was living in Ohio. He wanted me to. He would tell me, he was like, "Bro, you're bigger than this city with your talent." At 17, I don't understand what that means.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, okay, cool, whatever. But in reality, like that push still in my head today reminds me like um, that helped me to get the motivation to push myself beyond what I thought I could do
Mm-hmm.
at that time.
So when was it that you made the decision? Like at this point, you're getting older, you're figuring out what you want to do in life. How did you get from there to being a musician?
Well, like I said, it was always a natural gift, but it's crazy. I was working at Costco.
Mm.
Had
Okay.
a had a seasonal job at Costco.
Mm-hmm.
They eventually put me on full time,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, world's greatest position, clean the bakery.
Mm.
And it was only fun because I got to work by myself. So that was cool. I was back there by myself with my music. I could
Yeah.
do whatever. Um, and so I had this car. It was a Ford Contour. Rest in peace to that car. It basically just died on me.
Mm.
And for, I don't know how long I was doing this, probably at least a month or two. This was before Uber became popular. And this is in Orlando at the time. So it's like, you either got to catch the links.
Right.
Uh, I was catching cabs, or I will not say names of friends who allowed me to use their cars
Okay.
with expired license plates. But shout out to my friend at the
That's
time, one
good.
of my best friends.
All
Who,
right.
yeah. So, but it was just like it was a headache, and
Mm-hmm.
even sometimes I would take a cab. So, like I said, this was before Uber and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
it just became a headache. And then one day, um, I had my car went out at the time, so it was already out. So one day it was raining, like
Mm-hmm.
a bad storm. And if you're in Orlando and you know a bad storm, it's just like
And how?
nobody wants to go in that.
Yeah.
And I just made a conscious decision. I was like, I'm not going to work today.
Mm-hmm.
And so I called the job and I was like, hey, I'm not gonna make it and I'm gonna quit. They were like, you don't want to put your 2 weeks in? I was like, no.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, well, this can affect you for rehire. And I was like, I'm not coming back. So,
Okay. Okay.
but what inspired me to get to that point was to jump back.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing music around town in
Mm-hmm.
Orlando at the time. And I kept getting calls, but I couldn't do it because I was at work.
Mm-hmm.
And some people look at that as a sign, being from a faith-based background. I'm just like, if this is something I want to do, I have to believe that there's a reason why this keeps happening.
Right.
So it just got to a point where it was like, I can't deny these phone calls. Now, it's not like they were life-altering phone calls. Well, like I say that, they were life-altering.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't see the bigger picture of it.
Right.
So I'm just like, I can't keep telling these people no, because eventually they're going to stop calling.
They'll stop calling. Exactly.
And so I was just like, I got to that point where I was like, I'm not doing this. And so I called these people and I was like, yeah, I'm quitting.
Mm.
Yeah, they tried to threaten me with the rehire thing. And I was like, look, I'm gonna come in there sometime this week. We'll do the paperwork. And at that point, in my mind, I was pursuing the professional musician route.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much where it started, and it just turned into working around town,
Right.
not thinking that the relationships I come across that I'm building was going to turn into a segue into where I'm at now.
Mm.
So
Okay.
there's that.
So let me ask you this. Was there any fear when you quit, or did you just feel like, no, this is what I'm supposed to do?
Oh, most definitely. Thankfully, the economy was in a much more stable place, and I had
Oh, yeah.
bandmates back then.
Right.
So, like, and I was playing the church every week. So back then, I don't even know. I felt like you could make $300 go a long way back then. So,
Mm.
wow, it's crazy how much we thought that was a lot. But yeah, like I I was afraid because I mean, of course, do you want to work a job? No, but you also have the security of having a check every
Right.
whatever the pay period was. Every 2 weeks you get a check, so it's like, I don't know how this is going to work. So it was that fear, but you just at that point, I kind of just didn't have a. I had there was the initial fear, but eventually it was just like I'm young, I'm carefree.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was living a carefree life more than a
Mm-hmm.
fearful life. So
Right.
it's like if something pops up, it's gonna pop up, and I always believe something will pop up.
Mm-hmm. And it did.
It it popped.
Okay, so let me ask you the next question then. Who was the first artist that you started touring with on a large scale?
That would be Luis Fonsi.
How did that happen?
That and like I was saying, like relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I was working at BB King's,
Mm-hmm.
the blues club in the band at the time, and came across a guy named Danny Flores, and just through that turned into a relationship that blossomed outside of the club into other situations.
Right.
And literally, I can remember it to this day. I was cleaning up my apartment, and he gave me a call, and he was like, "Yo, you got a passport?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm.
Simple question, think I love it. And he's like, "Cool. I got a gig for you. It's like X amount of shows. I'll send you more information. You got to be in Miami next week." And I'm like, "Okay." Mind you,
Okay.
this is like my first
Yeah.
anything on a large scale. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know what's happening. So uh, it was very vague up
Mm-hmm.
front. So
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, all right, cool, whatever. And next thing I know, that turned into what ended up being 8.5, 9 years of work.
Wow. That's how long it was?
That's how long it was.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing. What was your favorite part about transitioning into, I guess, one, a more consistent position,
That's,
right?
that's the best part.
That's the
uh, yeah, keep going with your question.
okay. That was the first one, and then also like being out there, being on tour. What was the difference between having a gig like that and what you were doing at, I guess, BB King and local churches?
Well, it was night and day.
Mm,
So, and honestly, there was no preparation for me.
right,
It just happened.
right.
So I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what came with that.
Mm-hmm.
So all of this I'm learning on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
So and then not understanding there's a language barrier here. So thankfully, a lot of the crew Puerto Rican American based.
Right.
So they spoke English. So that
Yeah.
was a huge blessing for me at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But when majority of your work is in Spanish speaking countries, that can present challenges just for the simplest of tasks, like just to get some food can be a headache. So there's a lot that you kind of have to take heed to take initiative on. Like, hey, I need to probably learn this, because one thing a lot of people understand, like, there isn't a lot of hand holding in these situations. They pretty much give you the gist of where you got to be when you got to be, and it's up to you as an adult to be there. So it's like, if they say be here at 5 o'clock on the dot, be there at 4:55. Now, I'm not gonna say I was the most ambitious person and always there on time. I was there before the bus left. So, but those are things that people don't tell. Like, you hear it, but until you experience it, you don't understand like the seriousness behind those messages.
Yeah, because everything's on like a timeline and it's strict.
Like, imagine you're going from Mexico and you got to go to Spain, and they're telling you, hey, we got to go because we got to catch this flight. And if you miss that flight, you can't catch the next flight in 30 minutes and there. Like, it's not that easy. Like, so it's one of those things, like, there's a bigger picture in what they're telling you, and if you don't catch it, the repercussions for that is probably being fired. So it's not really something that you want to experience. So
that's something I interviewed my uncle, who's also a musician, and that's one of the things that he mentioned too. Like, that's the most important thing, is making sure you're always on time, and also just making sure you're kind.
Because like the part that they don't really tell you is like, you're here because you're good. We know that. Like, we believe you're able to do the job that we also do. There are other parts of this job that you have to be responsible for, that we're not about to baby you through. So it's like, you have to be mature to handle those responsibilities. And a lot of people cannot. There's a lot of talented people who get in their own way because, there's I forget what, I think it's an 80-20 rule. 20% is the talent, and the 80% is, hey, can these people trust you? Do these people want to work with you? So
80%. That's the 80%. That's big. Okay.
I mean, we know you. Like I said, you're here. We know why you're here.
Yeah, you wouldn't be here if you couldn't do it.
You're talented. So it's like, that's out the way. So it's like, now it's a matter of, can you get along with people? Are you professional? Are you going to be a liability? So there's a lot of things that you have to take into account that aren't really written on paper. There's no rule for this thing. Like, obviously, if you go to a foreign country, act like you got some sense. But aside from that, it's just like, hey, when we tell you to be somewhere, Outside of that, there's nobody going to be coming to knock on your door to wake you up. We're not setting an alarm and calling you to say, hey, it's time for you to go. So that's where maturity comes into play. And if you're not used to that, it can be challenging.
And no habla español. Have you ever thought about learning Spanish?
Shout out to all the apps that I have downloaded along the years. Even the apps are telling me, like, bro, what you doing? Like, you're laughing at me. My poor Duolingo, I think, broke up with me the other day.
Broke up with you? You can't pass this.
Right. I was just like, and so it's terrible timing. I will always mostly use it while I'm working.
See, that's why.
Yeah, and I need to do it while I'm home, because I will say, with the artists, with the people I'm with currently, there is one person on the management team. She challenges me to only speak to her in Spanish. Like,
good. Muy bueno.
She does not give me a pass.
Yeah.
So it's like, every time I walk into the office, before I walk in, I write my questions down. And so it's funny because I'm just like, I'm not going to remember all this stuff. And crazy as it sounds, I will say that the English language, it has its flaws. Don't get it twisted. It has its flaws. But I believe that even people that speak the most basic Spanish will tell you Spanish is a hard language to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Because every country has their own version of Spanish. And I thought all Spanish was the same.
It is not.
It is not. You think just because you're working with a group of Puerto Ricans and they speak Spanish, boom, boom, boom,
Mm-hmm.
that word does not mean the same in this part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, okay, I did not know that. And
Mm-hmm.
so, and they're very particular about certain word usage and vowels and adjectives, and I'm just like, I stopped learning that a long time ago. I was like, so not gonna sit here and try to figure it out right now.
You need a work buddy, a work language buddy.
Well, being usually one of the only minorities in these situations, it can be difficult.
Yeah.
But that goes along with the taking initiative. Like at this point, I think I can dive into some Spanish courses on my own to get better. So it's a matter of how much I want to get good at it.
I have faith in you. I think you can do it.
I thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So let me ask you this, right? You said you were with Fonzie for 10 years, Luis Fonzie?
Almost 9.
9 years.
Yeah.
So what made you leave that situation and then go to this new one?
Well, the first thing they'll tell you in this situation is it's a business first. And that always sounds good. Just like when you get a new job, they're like, oh, we're your family. Yeah. It's just like, no, I'm not. I'm here to get a check. And so, but when you're somewhere around the same people for X amount of time, that family dynamic does develop. So I can definitely say it was not an easy decision. But, in this business, people have highs and lows. But in a lot of cases, for the artists, that affects them way differently than it affects the majority of the people that are hired to work for them.
Right.
They are in some cases usually in a good position financially, so they can take highs and lows, and it doesn't really affect them. Me being a contracted worker, I can't sit there and not work for the client. So it became a point where I just had to look ahead and see what does this look like next year. And although there was work, it wasn't sustainable. So, at the time, I may have been praying for at least a year. Definitely wanted a change. And I really wanted to either pursue another musical opportunity or change careers.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, because I'm still getting older. Like, I want to have another ace in the hole, down the line. So, I thought about going back to school and pursuing some avenues there. But like I said, I was praying, and I just so happened to have a conversation with one of the guys I currently work with.
Right.
Just casual conversation, and I knew it had business opportunities attached to it, but this line of work is one of those situations where it don't exist until you sign the paper. So people can talk to you all the time, and it's not necessarily that person's fault. It's just things fall apart.
Right.
So, for instance, I've probably had 2 situations I was involved in that up until the 11th hour fell apart. So it's one of those things that you just don't know until you get on a plane, basically. So it's one of those situations. We had a conversation, and then a year went by. Almost a year went by. Nothing was brought up. We had a relationship already, so we had a casual conversation at that time. So, but it was nothing like where I'm looking around the corner like, hey, what we talking about? Because it's also one of those things like just let it happen naturally. So it was crazy because I literally was doing an event with Fonzie when I found out that I got the green light to come
Wow.
aboard on the
Yeah.
move situation. I
Yeah.
was just like, it was crazy because I can admit that I was so excited internally that it was a live performance. I was so excited that I messed up the song. Nobody knows it, but the two guys that I was with,
Oh my gosh.
they like we laughed about it.
Yeah.
They as soon as we got on stage, they were like what happened? I was just like, bruh, just I went blank. So it's one of those things like it nobody noticed it but the people that knew. So
Is it
like
on camera? I want to see it.
it might be documented somewhere, but
Yeah.
we'll talk about that later. But yeah, it was. I laughed about it because I was like, man,
Mm-hmm.
I let my excitement get the best of me. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, like I said, nobody, nothing caught on fire. So it was one of those things. So, but yeah, literally after that, I pretty much finished the year out with Fonzie, and then like I said, started in
Mm-hmm.
December 24, and then pretty much up to this point. So I'm on my much appreciated break right now.
Yeah.
Because I've
So,
pretty much been on go since January.
yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
So let me ask you about this then, because what another thing I've heard you talk about is the wisdom of like musicians or people trying to break into the industry not pigeonholing themselves and only focusing on one thing for their work, right?
Well, yeah.
I hear
So
it, but you're like, yeah,
I mean, there's no. Well, yes. I'm not gonna say no but to that
okay.
because you should always want to be have some type of expanse to your ear.
Mm,
But for me, I wasn't trained on anything. Like I
mm.
never took a lesson. Um,
Really?
I never took a lesson. Like I was in band up until middle school, and I
Mm.
stopped because it was boring. I was like, "This is boring."
What was
Now
boring about it? Like you didn't like the tech, like learning technique? What was
it
it?
wasn't. It's just the music aspect was boring.
Oh, okay.
I was like, "This is." I was like, "Yo, can we do something more exciting?" Now, do I wish I stayed at least through high school? Yes, because I would have. I don't know if I would have been a band geek or a marching band geek, but
Mm.
just being fresh with like reading music through
Mm.
high school would have been cool for me
Can you read
because
music now?
I'm very rusty. But like
Mm.
basics, I can get to some basics.
Right.
But just I think that would have helped me to keep that going, like even after high school.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if you're there, if you're doing it for 4 years, like it's pretty much ingrained in you at that point. And I think marching bands in high school these days are pretty advanced. So I think that would have been pretty dope. But again, I didn't see the vision at
Mm.
my young age. So I was just like, this is boring. I don't want to do it. And I just got out of it. So,
Right.
but I can't say the musical experience I've been a part of. Like I've played in blues bands. I've played in gospel. I've played what they were playing jazz. I probably wasn't, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, it made my ear had to listen to this type of music.
Mm-hmm.
And so to get a call to be involved in Spanish based Latin music, I was just like, I know absolutely nothing about this. But there's a professional aspect because you have to do your homework. You have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
dive into this. You have to look up, go to see a YouTube video. Like there's so many avenues that you have to dedicate yourself to digging into this music.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would say Fonzie, he was along the lines of R&B and a pop center based sound. So that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like I can say I can cheat in that realm because
Mm-hmm.
I came up out of church. Whereas the artist I'm doing now, I have been thrown into so many genres of rhythms and whatnot that I'm
Wow.
just
Yeah.
like, I've never done this before. And like, it can seem like a lot up front, and it may have been, but again, as a professional, you have to put your head down and do the work. Like, you're just not going to be denied that you're not going to learn this.
So what's
So,
the difference in like, man, you're saying a lot of things I've never thought about as far as drumming and then the sound being different. Like obviously my ears hear the different sound, but am I
yeah,
focused on the difference in like the actual rhythm of the drums? I realize probably not. So what is it that is different between like a Latin sound like Fonzie or like the artist you're doing now since it's so different and R&B?
I would consider, so like I said, Fonzie comes across to me as like an R&B
Yeah.
pop. He has some music in his catalog that has certain actual Latin feels to it,
Right.
but the majority would be based in like, R&B, love music, pop stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the guy now, Maluma, it along the lines of reggaeton. He
Ah.
had that, but it also there's I can't even tell you the rhythms I've played. Like they'll tell me what it is. It's Spanish. It's in Spanish.
Mm.
Um, but it's just like they'll be like, "Yo, this rhythm," but it's like it's necessary for the song. Like that is the rhythm.
It's
Learn
yeah.
it, play it. So I
Yeah.
was like, I've never heard this before. So I've literally had guys like I have a drum tech the guy who sets up my drums. He can play the drums. So
Mm-hmm.
he'll get on the drums and show me. He's like, "Yo, this is how we play it in Colombia." And I was just like, "Cool." Pull out my phone. I'll record him, and then I have to, repetition at that time. Like I have to just keep doing it over and over and over,
Mm-hmm.
and envisioning myself playing this because now it's like, all right, we went through it. I gotta basically be on my A game tomorrow in rehearsal now. So
Right.
it's like you get thrown into a fire a lot, and to not have the training of knowing that style of music, but to still be able to pull it off is a hell of a gift. I'll tell you that much because
Mm-hmm.
it can be stressful.
That really is. Wow.
It can be
Okay, so
stressful.
and that was the question I was going to ask you next. Like, how do you learn a new song? But I get it now. Wow.
Well, I still have a method to my madness for
Mm-hmm.
me, and I think just getting older and making life easier. I tell people all the time, don't be afraid to write stuff down.
Right.
Guys that ask me like, how you learn this music? Write it down.
Mm-hmm.
Like
What you writing down though?
I can literally show you in my notes.
Yes,
I
please.
have the entire like this is a list of songs. These are songs
You got to bring
that
it closer.
these are songs, and just I write down every part of the song. So
Wow.
it's just
Okay.
like it's my version of reading music, but it's in word form. So it's like if the song is the intro's 4 bars, I write that down. Like it sounds so
You write
elementary.
down like 4 words, or you're writing down like
I literally
opening the
write
show, whatever, or what?
4 bar intro, swell into the
Oh,
verse. Like it's so elementary.
wow.
If
Okay.
you were to look at it, you'd be like, "What is this?" I'd be like, "It's my language, and it has to do with
Yeah.
this song." And I'm literally
Fascinating.
reading
Okay.
this off my iPad in the show, mainly as a guide, because after a while, obviously the song becomes a part of you. So
Mm-hmm.
it's here in your head,
Mm-hmm.
but you just used it. I'm like, okay, boom, 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 whatever. All right, so the words are there as a guide,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just so much information that I just won't ever give myself the grace to not have it there because
Mm-hmm.
you kind of have to strive for perfection on these
Mm-hmm.
shows because there's such big productions. Like there isn't a you make a mistake and we start over type deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like you make a mistake and hopefully it's not very evident,
You
But
just gotta keep going.
yeah, you got to keep going. So it's one of those things like you just strive to be 100%. So you have to do things you don't normally do. So
Right.
I developed a system to write everything down. Like just don't be ashamed of that. Don't be like, oh, he's not cool. He writes his stuff down. Don't, because it's a lot of music. Like it's a lot of music.
You gotta be humble.
Yeah, and in a situation where you're kind of playing with blinders anyway, because you don't know what is going on in front of you. Like you don't know what's being said. All you hear is the music, which is why I tell people at the end of the day, music is universal. Like it makes people move no matter what the language is being said. So if you learn it, you'll become a part of it. So that was my big thing. Like just learn the music, it'll all just fall into place after that.
Right.
So I don't have to know what's being said. Hopefully they're not saying we're going to sacrifice ourselves, die.
I think someone would have told you by now, at least one person.
I would hope so.
You would have seen a sacrifice go down by now.
Yeah, they'd be like, yeah, keep playing this song by the 50th time. You might be a sacrifice. I'd be like, yeah, I want pieces of that. So, but yeah, like it literally becomes so natural after a while, and that's why it's just like music is so universal, but you have to put the work in,
right,
for it to flow at that point.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay. Well, for someone watching this right now, that's like, I think what you're doing is so cool, and I want to do something like this. What advice would you give them?
Get out and see as much music as you can. Like if there's somebody coming to the town to your town, big venue, small venue, just go check out what's going on around the music scene, because I learned just as much as I can learn new things, I can learn what not to do in certain situations as well.
Ooh, that's a good point.
So there's always learning to be applied to something. Some situation there's a learning to be applied. So you don't ever feel like you're too big to learn something or unlearn something. So like for me, I don't mind just going to a venue, hearing somebody play, and going about my business. Like I'm not there to be seen. I'm not there to try to play. Honestly, for musicians, hearing other people play is a breath of fresh air for us. Like it's inspiring. So it's like I said, you can find something to learn, you can find something to unlearn, and stuff like that should just keep the ball rolling in your head to be like, okay, cool, I can apply that. Or I know not to try to do this in a live situation. So just never feel like you can't learn something. For sure.
Is there an artist that you've always dreamed of touring with?
Honestly, what I thought I wanted in the past, I think I eclipsed that thought process. Because like I said, growing up in church, I grew up on relaxed and like a Kirk Franklin, Fred Hammond, and I was like, oh man, I love playing with those guys. And then I started doing this, and I was like, well, I've been on the Grammys. So, man, Bruno Mars would be fun. Bruno Mars show would be dope.
I hear he puts on an amazing show too.
He does. Yeah. I've seen him live. Yeah. Justin Timberlake would be fun. I've seen him live. I feel like there's some country artists I would like to play for.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like they put on great shows. Yeah, but at this point, I don't want to put a cap on myself, because at this point, I'm just like, if the symphonic orchestra asks me to come play, I'm gonna show up. So, yeah, I don't have too many like wish list situations.
You're just open.
Because believe it or not, what a lot of people would assume in some of these wish list situations is that they're amazing financially, and that's not always true. Not to say, not to say the ones I named are not. A lot of situations that people think are like very financially sound are not. So I'll just leave it at that. But I will say, people need to learn their business. Be very mindful of knowing how to do business. Like, if you don't know that, know that.
Right.
Because it's a lot of horror stories out here. And the best thing I can say is, like, if you get into a certain situation and it just don't feel right, speak up. Like, if you don't feel like your check gonna get deposited or your money gonna come to you, say something.
Be your own advocate.
You have to be your own advocate, because they're not, again, it goes back to we're not going to hold your hand. So people aren't going to come tell you, hey, you're supposed to get paid, so you need to speak up about that. There will be some people who care about you enough to say something, but this isn't one of those situations where you should expect to direct deposit on the 15th or 30th. Thankfully, I can say I've never had so many crazy stories business wise, but I've heard a lot of crazy stories. So
y'all get health care?
Well, again, manage your money on that one too, because that's another thing. More often than not, we are considered independent contractors. So when we're at home, we are pretty much taking care of ourselves. If something is to happen to us while we're out with the artists, we're under their care. So they have insurance for everybody while we're out. So God forbid anything happens, you go to the hospital, somebody from management would have to go to handle all the paperwork to make sure you get taken care of.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you're home, you're on your own. You expected to basically take care of yourself. But if something was to happen while you're out, they would take care of you. At least in the situations I've been in. I don't want to say that's for everybody.
That's good. So there's no like union or anything for musicians?
There is. Because I know like Disney has a union. Like there's a lot of people who worked at Disney for years. They're unionized. I've worked in New York for so long and California, and I've gotten a lot of mail from their unions up there. So like if you do a show, you get taxed from like some of these unions. And I was like, I'm not a part. But I've never looked into that to know how that works. I think definitely for the Orlando scene, it's a blessing, because I know guys have been a part of it for years and have worked at Disney almost since day one. So I'm pretty sure a union in itself has benefits, but for the entire industry, it's hit or miss.
Okay, that makes sense. So what's next for you when you hang up your cymbals? You hang cymbals? I don't even know.
Put in the bag or in the case. As far as what though?
Like, what do you see for yourself? Do you see an after music ever? Like, do you see?
Oh yes, yes.
Okay.
Actually, I want it more than I know.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I said, it's at a 10-year mark at this point. So it's been fun, but you can attest this because you travel. Traveling is tiring.
Oh yeah, it's exhausting.
So traveling for a vacation is tiring. So if that's just we're going to this one location and relaxing, that's a lot. To do it at the rate we do it at times, it's not healthy. And to do that over the length of time that I've done it, I feel it. So as fun as it is to see these pictures that I may post from time to time, see these events that I'm at, there's a lot that does not get talked about or seen that can be very detrimental to a lot of people's health. Like, and that's another thing that people don't talk about. Mental health is real on these situations because there's a lot of loneliness. There's a lot of homesickness that comes with this, stress, anxiety. Like, this is not for everybody. So, like, I tell people all the time, like, you can play, but can you manage being away from your family for 2-3 weeks at a time, sometimes a month? 15-hour days on a bus or in a van. Like, it's not fun all the time. So, but after some way, shape, or form, I want to get into the arena of, I don't want to say teaching, but more so just encouraging definitely underprivileged kids from my side of the race card for sure. Because I just feel like we pursue a lot of wrong angles. And there's so many things out there that we should be striving for that we don't get pushed into. I feel like, I don't know what they're teaching in schools these days, but I think there should be a 50-50 side on pushing kids to college and pushing kids to trade schools. And for me, I just want to be in that middle to help the people who feel like they can't do it. Because
guidance counselor.
Everybody has a gift that you just don't. You have to find it.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that everybody has the best motivation at home, best encouragement, even from people at the schools. They probably don't have the best. So I just want to be that person that lets them know, like, I see you, I hear you, I feel you. Like, I'm not going to let you slip up because I didn't take the traditional route.
Right.
And because of that, there was times I felt like I wasn't doing life right. There is no rule book to how to do life right. So, are your bills paid? Are you taking care of your responsibilities? Are you able to live? If you can check those boxes off with something that you don't feel is orthodox or is normal, then you're doing pretty good, especially in today's society. So, don't listen to the foolishness on the internet. Live.
Everything on the internet is true.
You're right. Everything on the internet is true. So live your truth. And I promise you, you will get very far. Just don't, stick to your circle of trust and friends that will tell you right and wrong.
That's so important, yeah.
And I promise you, if you have a faith within yourself, stick to that, and I promise you it'll get you far.
Okay. So as we wrap up, I have a series of random questions to ask you that I did not send.
Not the fire session.
Definitely the fire session. Okay. I love asking musicians this first question. What's a song that you think everybody should listen to?
The sad thing is, I love this song, and I don't even know the name of it. But when it comes on, I am moving.
So curious. Okay.
But I don't know the name of it. I'm upset with myself about that one.
You got to sing it.
No. The funny thing is, it is a Latin song.
Okay.
It's oh my God.
It's a popular song, or?
I would say it's popular because every time I'm at a bar or a club overseas, it's getting played. Uh, I can't think of it. I'm gonna have to hold the L on that.
Pathetic. You gotta find it. You gotta find it and send it. So let me switch it then. What's your favorite song?
Favorite song? I feel like everybody should know this is me, if you know me. So Fresh and So Clean by Outkast.
I actually do know that.
Exactly. So,
I'm like, I'm not gonna know it. I know it.
That is not a secret.
You love you some Outkast.
You know?
Yeah.
Sue me. Sue me. If that's wrong, sue me. I don't want to be
It's
right.
very right. It's very right. Good taste.
Also like Kendrick Lamar, but we won't get to that either.
You know, that's going to take a whole nother hour.
Exactly.
To start that. You know how I feel about Kendrick.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm about to push your buttons right now. I'm about to push your buttons.
I love me some him. Okay. My next question is, what's a book that you think everybody should read?
Well, besides the Bible.
Yeah, you can't say the Bible.
Yeah, that's too easy. This is one book I went through. I with my cheat code library and my Audible. I like it was. I mean, I don't know if everybody should read it. I like these books. There's a book called The Psychology of Money.
Okay.
People should get into the psychology of money, especially if you're a grown adult. And like for me, being this game industry is unpredictable. So, and I think the one thing that kind of exposed a lot of people to that was COVID. And I was like,
yeah.
And I think like that took a whole nother turn for me, and just everything basic. Like I'd be scared to not pay a bill ahead of time. Now at this point, it's just like you never know.
You never know. That's a good point.
COVID was very weird.
Right.
A lot of areas in life, like people got relief to not pay bills for 3 months at times. So it's just like, then when that cycle had to restart, like it just got real weird. So I think just having a good handle on and the aspect of handling money as an adult, and for a lot of Black people, that can be taboo because it's just like, well, I've never taught this, or I wasn't gifted this along my life. I get it. I've learned a lot of lessons as an adult. So, as long as you learn it, just apply it. That's all.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. What's a place everybody should visit?
It's gonna sound crazy.
Okay.
I have two.
Okay.
But neither are on the top tens of anybody's tongue. But that's fine. That means I've been around the world. Yeah.
What a flex. I love it.
I tell people now, the country within itself is beautiful, is unique, but Da Nang, Vietnam.
Really?
One of the most beautiful resorts in the world.
Okay.
The ocean, the sun, the mountains, it's just like, I want to go back. But it might be a training ground for hell. Because it's
okay.
And then Cyprus. Is beautiful. Like, I think you almost have to fly into Greece to get there.
Right.
But like the water that you see that is like blue in pictures and whatnot, like the pictures that people see of Greece, imagine that in a smaller scale.
Yeah.
Less people, amazing food.
Right. I love the food in Greece.
That's right. Just imagine in
That's some
Cyprus.
good food. Yeah.
Imagine in
Okay.
Cyprus, like,
Gotta get to
it
Cyprus.
is so relaxing and beautiful. And
Mm-hmm.
like the island is so small. Like we rented like dune buggies for 24 hours and just drove around the island all day.
Mm-hmm.
And so like just it's a fun aspect. So those are my top two. Everybody has theirs. I got mine. So I want to go back.
I'd want to go back too. It sounds fun.
Yeah.
And I love a good, like, I love the ocean. So
Listen, I
looking
jumped.
out and
I had to
seeing all
go.
that blue.
Like there's a lot of ocean out there because you're on an island.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I remember me and one of my guys. We just went driving around,
Mm-hmm.
found some little cutway, and just swam for like 15 minutes. It was
Wow,
beautiful.
yeah, yeah.
And then I had my little church moment. I was like, "This is the water Jesus walked on." I was like, "Okay."
That's humbling.
I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I love that. Okay.
So yeah.
And then my last question for you. What's the best advice that you've ever received?
The best advice I ever received
Mhm.
was to leave home when I graduated high school. So
Really?
at the time, it was I was living in Ohio, which
Mm,
is where I'm back at now. But I mean, I can pretty much live anywhere now. But I, like I said, 17, 18, fresh out of high school, you don't understand when somebody tells you you should go move to another state.
mm,
So
mm,
I grew up in Ohio my whole life. My dad had just relocated to Florida.
mm,
I didn't know anything about that. I mean, Florida's Florida, but my life was in Ohio. My friends were in Ohio. Like my
mm,
comfort zone was Ohio. So if
mm.
somebody to tell a kid fresh out of high school, yo, you should go move to Florida, that's not something that I had on my bingo card.
Right, right.
But I can definitely say that was the best advice I ever received
Mm,
because it led me down the road of where I'm at now.
mm-hmm.
You know, I don't judge people. I just know that there were a lot of people that I wanted to see get out that didn't
Right.
for whatever life reason.
Mm,
And now I understand why people told me to get out because they saw something in me
mm-hmm.
that I felt I saw in other people. And then I can understand how certain life decisions or life instances can be a detriment to whatever you may have planned for the future.
Right.
So getting out of Ohio and moving to Florida was the best advice I've ever received because we probably wouldn't be having this conversation because you wouldn't know me.
I want to know you, however it is that I know you.
However it is, the mystery is,
I
you
want to
know.
know you, whatever mystery that is. Okay. And I never knew that. I never knew your story of how you, I never thought about how you got here, but.
Yeah, I was told to leave because I wasn't
Mm,
like it wasn't something I ever wanted to do.
right,
So,
right.
but I and because of that, like I consider Florida my second home. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm there a lot.
What I got
So
you to the Grammys. Pretty cool.
when I got to the Grammys, I got to see who did I see in the hallway that day. I saw Salt Bay, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
You did?
there's somebody else who bumped into in the hallway. And then, like for me, the crazy part was like when the stage opened up,
Mm-hmm.
you got Rihanna, Jay Z, and Beyonce sitting right there, and I was like,
Uh,
"That's kind of wild."
that's
But
pretty cool. Yeah.
yeah, and plus, as much as people say things about Madison Square Garden, like there's just nostalgia about being there.
Mm-hmm.
If you've never been, that's one of those places like you just hear from music stories to sports stories,
Right.
just historical purposes. Um, being in that place for that event and just soaking that all in, I was like,
Mhm.
yo, it's kind of dope. So
Very dope. Absolutely. Yeah. You were on Kimmel? I forgot. I didn't even talk about that. You were on Kimmel?
yeah, I was on Kimmel.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, name rounds. I want to do more. I want to do more TV shows because those come with checks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, but yeah, like it's crazy now because at 37, I just be like, all right, 40, I want to be doing something different. So I'm on a clock for myself.
That's real.
So, yeah, so I gave myself a 3-year window to push myself to the next avenue, at least to get it going. Like, I'm not going to say I'm just going to hard stop because, like, if business is business, I'll make it make sense. But
right.
I want to at least have the ball rolling for the next phase, for sure.
That makes sense. All right, Chris. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me and let people know your story and what you do. I think it's a really amazing story.
I appreciate you inviting me. I know we talked about this for a minute, so
Yeah, that's true. It has been a minute.
I'm glad we got that happening.
Yeah, it
So
really happened.
I appreciate you, and hopefully somebody enjoys this and they're inspired.
That's my hope too, always.
They can always ask me questions, and I can inspire them. So
how can the people reach you if they want to ask you questions?
Don't, but no, I'm on Facebook, Chris Stokes. I'm on Instagram, C Stokes 20,006 at Yahoo. That would be 30. Not that's my email. But if you want to email me, that's that.
You still have Yahoo?
I'm not switching.
I do too, which is funny, and people clown me about it all the time. I'm like, well, why?
Because it's fun. It's almost like it's a music industry thing. They'll be like, why you got Yahoo? I'm like, did I get your email? So then it works. So it doesn't matter what my email
Does it matter? No.
So, but yeah, C Stokes 20,006.
I'll put your Instagram here. I'll put it on the screen for people to find.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that's like I said, Facebook, just Chris Stokes. So yeah, and I even spent my email, but I'm not ashamed of my Yahoo.
I mean, you shouldn't be.
Like I said, because at this point, I feel like it's tied to way too much to change it. I'm just like, I got banks, I got all this, and I think I have a Gmail account. I just never use it.
Same.
So, like I said, just like my phone number is not going to change, my email is not going to change.
Yes.
If you know how to reach me, you know how to reach me. So, yeah. But, yeah, I appreciate it. I am going to get a fish fillet to commemorate this moment.
Okay, what you order?
Fish fillet.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching or listening to the Ignorance Project. I hope you leave enlightened.